she was doing 20 over, and I stopped.
That's a
her.
lot.
That is a lot. Yeah. So I pull her over, and I walk up, and I was always very polite to people. Hey, how you doing today?
Yeah.
And you see license registration proof for insurance, and she turns and smiles at me. She goes, "This is going to be expensive." I said, "Well, it's a possibility, sure, absolutely."
What for you?
Yeah. So, but one thing I noticed, she rolled down all her windows. She had her hand on the steering wheel. This was during the day. She had her hands on the steering wheel. She's like, "Just let you know, my registration is in my glove compartment. That's what I'm going to reach for. And I also want to let you know, when she handed me her driver's license, she handed me her concealed weapons permit. And she goes, I have a gun in my purse. That's where my license is. So I want you to tell me what to do." And I said, "Well, first of all, thank you for telling me that."
Yeah.
I said, "Obviously, I don't want you reaching into your purse, okay?" I said, I said, if you let me get your wallet out, I'm not going to go through your wallet, but just let me reach into the purse to get your wallet out. Are you okay with that?" She said, "I'm perfectly fine with that." So I got her wallet out. I handed it back to her. And so we just started small talking back and forth while she's getting, and she's nervous, you could tell, you know, and but she's very, very, very polite and all that. So I go back to my cruiser, and I'm like, all right, 20 over is kind of a little excessive. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. It's heavy traffic, on and on and on. And I looked at her insurance card and it was expired. So I wrote her for expired insurance card, which is if you get it fixed, it's a $10 fine. So I came back and
But a $20 over speeding ticket is
compared
hundreds
to
of dollars.
$200 something, you know?
Plus you get the points.
Right. So I explained to her. I said, "Listen, this is what I could have done," and I chose. And she's like, "Oh my God!" I realized here's my insurance card. It's valid. Here's my new one. I just forgot.
Oh,
I forgot to put it in my with my registration. I said, "Okay."
No, you're
I
like,
said,
shit, now I can't give you a ticket for nothing.
"Well, no." I said to her, I said, "What you can do is bring this to the courthouse and show your valid insurance, and it's a $10 fine." I said, "Unless you want me to write you the speeding ticket, I'd be more than happy to do that." And I smiled at her. She said, "No, I really don't want that." So it made a very positive stop. She thanked me for my service, and she was very, very nice, you know. So I could have jammed her up. Yeah, I could. I could have, and I chose not to.
So
Yeah.
that's something a lot of people who have a concealed carry permit would probably wonder, what's the best course of action? Because there's nothing scarier than a cop's pulling you over and you have a gun on you.
Right.
Tell 'em.
That's not a scenario that...
Hands on the steering wheel, and
Yep.
you tell them.
Tell them I have it on me?
You tell them I have a concealed license to carry,
Okay.
and I am carrying my weapon. It's in my pocket, or it's in my side, or it's in my glove compartment, whatever. You just tell them everything.
What if you have it on you? That's
Tell
what
them.
that's what. So when I'm driving, I make sure I don't have it on me, just in case. For me, that's just kind of how I do it. I don't
Right.
keep it on me. I keep it in my bag
Uh-huh.
or in my glove box or
Right.
something, or under
Right.
my seat. But I just my biggest fear about being pulled over is having my gun on me and having to tell a police officer that I have it on me.
Well, if you have it on you, it's not a big deal. You
It's
just
not.
got to
No.
tell them.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
That's all you got to do.
Well,
is
that's
you
the
gotta-
first thing the officer will usually ask you. Do you have a weapon on you?
Yeah. And then you'll probably have you get out and.
He'd
they'll-
prefer it
they'll-
if you offer it ahead of time.
Right.
It's always a better way to go.
It's a much better way
You know,
to go.
so the officer doesn't have to ask. You come up, your hands are up here, and just, I don't let you know, I have a concealed license carry. I have a firearm on me. It's on my right hip right now.
So I always heard this too, that it's better to hand them your driver's license and your concealed carry permit,
absolutely.
Yeah.
and then not say anything at all, instead of going, "Hey, I have a gun on me," you know, because then the people think, "What? Bang, bang!" You know, they're
Yeah.
gonna shoot you or
Right,
something.
right. No. All can be delivered in one breath. Here's my license registration, and here's my. Just to let you know, I have a concealed weapons permit, and here's my.
Yeah.
Here's where it's at. And here's my permit. You know, and that will probably go very easy for you. Would be my guess.
Yeah.
Very, very.
So they know that you have it on you. They're not gonna say you need to take it off. You need
Some may not.
I know. But then you are putting your hands on your own weapon
Right.
in front of a cop.
Right.
That's super scary to a lot of people.
Sure.
Has there ever been a time where, there would be a scenario where the cop would say, "Lift your hands, let me take the gun off you"?
That's what I would do.
You'd say, "Get out of the car."
Because if you told me it's on
Put
my
your hands
hip,
up.
I don't
when
know
you come
you.
out of the car, don't
Yeah.
make any quick moves.
Yeah.
Get your hands up. I'm going to take the gun off for me and your safety.
Because that would be a normal scenario.
Sure. And I can't see anybody having a problem with that.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I may hold on to the gun during the
But
stop.
during that time, it's a highly
It's tense.
super tense moment there.
Sure.
While that's
Sure.
and the cop is extra jittery and
Sure. Well, it's a little hypervigilance.
No,
yeah.
I'm just saying.
Yeah. And I've taken several guns off of people.
Is
and
there any reason to carry it on you while you're driving?
Well, some people, they carry that holster or they're
just so used to always having it on them, they don't even think about it.
Yeah, you don't even give it a second thought.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But there's probably not going to be a
Yeah.
scenario where a
not
cop pulls you over, you tell him, hey, I have a concealed weapons
Yeah.
permit and my gun is on me, and the cop has to write you a speeding ticket. There's no scenario where the cop is going to just go to his car, write up a ticket while you're in your car with your loaded gun. Like, that's just not going to, the cop's
Right.
going to take your gun and
So-
pull
so-
the clip out. Because that did happen to me where
Mm-hmm.
I told the cop I had my my gun in the bag, and he went into the bag, took the gun to his car, and then while he wrote me the ticket, and then he put my gun back in my bag after he came out with the ticket
Mm-hmm.
with the clip separated from the.
Yeah. Now, some cops do that. I've seen some cops say, "Yeah, open up your trunk, and I'm going to put it
Oh,
in
they-
the trunk."
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
maybe he
yeah.
did that. I
Yeah,
don't think
that's
he
what I.
put-
That's
he
what
didn't put
I.
it back in my
That's
bag.
what I used to
Yeah,
do.
you're right.
But I didn't drop the magazine or anything like that because I was always worried about liability. What if I pop the magazine and
You
I
break it, or-
I break a spring or something like that, So I was always worried about that. So what I used to tell people, if I took it off them, listen, do me a favor, when I start walking back, I'll let you know. Pop open your trunk. I'm going to put it in your trunk. I'm going to close your trunk. You can do one or two things. You can when I pull away, you can go. My advice: use pull into. It depends what kind of park, where the stop was. Like on I-4, obviously, I'm not gonna say walk back and get it out of your trunk. Why don't you go up to the next exit or something like
Not
that?
in front of
So-
a Walmart, but everybody
Yeah.
can see you pulling the weapon.
Well,
out.
yeah, that's
So
not a good. Yeah. Obviously, that's not a good idea. Also,
Yeah.
so yeah,
So you were an officer for how many years?
33.
33 years.
Yeah, I
and
do.
you were a police officer for
Almost 24.
24 years.
So we got 50, almost 60 years experience.
So let me
in
ask you
yeah.
this: what? So you obviously have written a lot of tickets.
Sure, I was in the
So-
traffic unit for quite a while. Yeah.
What percentage of people that you pulled over had a concealed permit or had a weapon?
For me, it wasn't that much.
It wasn't.
No, it wasn't that much, or they hit it pretty well. One or the other.
Yeah.
Not that much. I would say, and I'll go back to my traffic unit days where I probably did maybe 10, 15 stops a shift, maybe one.
1 out of 10.
Yeah. Yeah, or I'd go 2 or 3 shifts with zero. So either they didn't tell me, they chose not to. I have a concealed weapons permit, and since I've been retired, I've been stopped twice.
But the police will always ask you, "Do you have a weapon on you?"
Some do, some don't. Yeah.
Sometimes they don't
Yeah.
even ask you. Huh?
Yeah, and I'll be brutally honest when I say this. Since I've been retired, the 2 times I stopped, I was speeding. Even though I just said earlier I don't speed or anything like that.
But-
But both one was on I-4, one was on 95.
Did
Yeah,
the
yeah.
officer ask you if you had a weapon on you?
They did not.
They didn't even
They
ask
did not,
you?
and I told them I did.
Huh.
And like you said, I have it on my bag.
Yeah.
One time I was coming back from doing a mental health presentation, so I was in a suit and. I look a lot different than I did when I was.
Yeah, you
active.
didn't have long hair. and
No,
stuff
no,
when-
no. But if I could talk about that for 1 second,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes they say perception's reality. To a point, it is. Now that I've grown my hair out, and I had long hair when I was in high school, and I used to talk all the time. When I retire, the first thing I'm gonna do is grow my hair long. I just like long hair. Plus, I'm into rock and roll.
Right.
I got a bunch of tattoos, obviously. So I do see cops kind of look at me every once in a while as I walk by them. They're like, yeah, and I'm whether I'm okay with it, not okay with it. That's the issue. But the point I'm going to, I was in Phoenix this week doing a presentation. And I'm the guy. I get to the airport 3 hours early because I'm always afraid that something's gonna mess up. So I was in the food court and I was standing in line and there was 2 airport police officers standing in front of me. One was probably guessing. They had masks on, but I can still. He was probably in his 50s and it was a younger guy, and I think he was probably training him. Would be my guess. So I'm standing in line. I'm right behind them in line at the food court, and one just looks over. I go, "How you guys doing?" The older guy goes, "Hey, I'm doing good. How you doing, sir?" I said, "Good." I said, "Hey, just want to let you know, I appreciate you guys. I really do." So the younger guy, he's not saying much, and he goes, "Well, thank you." I said, "I'm a retired cop." The older guy, he looks at me, he goes, "Really?" He goes like that, and I go, "I am, believe it or not." He goes, "Would you work undercover?" I said, "No, actually, I never worked undercover in my career. I go, "Don't judge a book by its cover." And he goes,
Even if you're retired, you should have like the
You're supposed to have
Short
the
hair
high
and
title or whatever.
Yeah.
So we started talking, and he goes, "Well, how long you been retired?" I said, about 2.5 years, and he goes, what are you doing now? I said, obviously I'm not a cop anymore, and I said, I do a motivational speaking, law enforcement, suicide prevention, and things like that. And I could tell we were taught to read people, and I said, you're probably asking yourself, what's up with the hair, right? And I said, I've learned to play the guitar, and I'm into music. He goes, good for you. Does that make you happy? I said, bro, let me tell you something. There's life after the job. There truly, truly is. And I said, and hopefully you know this. And I looked at him. I go, young guy. I gotta go like that. And he actually laughed when I said, young guy. I said, this job will kill you mentally. It will demolish you mentally. You got to have an outlet. You got to do this. You got to be happy with the job. And if you're not happy with the job, you got to leave the job. You know. And he goes, that's good advice. So it was a very positive interaction, very, very positive. But when the younger guy turned and looked at me when I say, I appreciate what you guys do, I actually had a Van Halen T-shirt on, and he's probably looking at me. He goes, "This guy's probably got a pound of weed in his suitcase." I'm thinking to myself, So, but it was a very positive interaction.
That's good for the young guy.
It was.
The older guy's seasoned. I mean,
he gets it. He gets it.
He gets it.
He gets it.
He's getting close to the end anyway.
Right.
But it's the young guy.
Yeah. And I asked him, I said, "Is it okay to shake your hands?" Because boundaries and this, that, and the other thing. Some cops don't want to shake hands with people. I get that. I used to knuckle bump people. I shake people's hands, absolutely. Some people I would knuckle bump or just whatever it is. I even to this day, if I don't know you, I'm like, do you shake hands? Do you knuckle bump? I ask. Because of boundaries. So, but it was a very positive interaction. It really was. So. I actually thought about buying their dinner for them, but airport food is like that would cost me about $100. Yeah, I love my brothers, but I can't dish out $100. I'm on a fixed income now. I'm retired. So.